Hermes from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When it come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and need it. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad in pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Get your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Get your sauce, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist while I point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me, cause her like she can count on him. She try to be nosy and hit on my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist while I point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I would not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash. They slept on the team, now they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve for the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call us up making a name. I put on the Jets, the coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team around took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take all proof, magic. Now watch me shoot through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Set, 30 base. Check, walk it before. Hey, pick your game up.
Now Jones throwing on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
I'm coming back.
Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And this is caught at the 20. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 56 yards. That pass was heavily defended on third down, but you know what? He's one of the best in the league at body control, and he showed you why there.
So what that tells you is that the guy throwing the football understands his guys, doesn't he? Give them a chance, put it up there, and realize that even in a battle, they're more than likely to come down with the football.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Now Jones, and that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Saquon Barkley. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing Jones. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left early in November, but they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
And we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Looking to throw. Jones. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a giant first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. Being chased out left. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that will be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Kill. Let's go.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And that's caught inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They come out here in the eye. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Jones now going to throw again. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Jones operating from the gun. Airing this one out for Evans. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Check, 93's the mic. 93's the mic. Here we go, here we go. Check, 93's.
Prescott down. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. They got his man complete. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Nifty running by Barkley there on 1st down. He scoots forward for 7 yards, sets him up nicely, 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now Jones on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
They throw again on 2nd down. This one's complete.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
The Giants on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Kill. Hey, turn it out. He's coming. We got double up.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now the Pro Bowl kicker, Aldrich Rosas. Last year, he hit one from 57. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're starting to put some space here. The first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. This is Elliott. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Prescott. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
Throwing. Prescott. Cooper's got it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Prescott now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Prescott from the gun. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. 36 yards on the play. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On second down, it's Elliott. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
He may try to hammer in for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial...
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. And he slides to avoid the hit. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And Walker has it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Here's Jones on 1st and 10. Catch made by Slayton. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. On the run, it's Barkley. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. But it's going to be second down. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
To throw again on second down. Jones, and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. A first throw for the backup Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but it'll be second and goal.
Now second and goal from the 7-yard line.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. A final shot before break. Jones. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. But now it's 3rd and goal.
Incomplete. Byron Jones on the coverage.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Rosa's kick is good. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Jones now throwing to start the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyrone Crawford able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
That was a good, forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw in that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
Walker with a grab, left side.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Barkley on 1st down, going to work his way forward, only for about a couple there. 2 yards on the carry there, it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Jones on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. He's got Evans. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 12-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
It also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Now Jones throwing on 1st down. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Darius Slayton with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. They're going to run it with Barkley. And he'll get into the end zone to push the lead up to a field goal. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Here we go.
At their own 26-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Prescott, letting one fly deep for Cooper. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cowboys have once again taken the lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now it's Barkley. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Taking it about the 16. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the fourth. On 2nd and 12, Prescott. And an alley to run. Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Jackson to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Yeah, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Again, it's Elliott. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that blitz coming? And down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue. He continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Prescott. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 22 yards there, a 1st down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL. Being able to run it and catch it with equal.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
And that takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that's Elliott. Complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offense defensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Saquon Barkley running right. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll go to Barkley again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Set, ready. 6 yards. Watching you grind.
Here's Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
4th down, here's Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. The 1st down carry by Elliott doesn't amount to much as he'll get forward for about a couple. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Well, Prescott here to throw. That one complete to Elliott. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Prescott now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. They go to Elliott again. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Now Prescott. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Give the sack to Blake Martinez. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home, You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Cowboys, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.